with the Debre Tabor University in Ethiopia, and also Vasyl Donetsk National University from Ukraine. First of all, let me introduce myself first. My name is Novita, and I will be hosting for today's event. And now, please let me welcome our special guest for today. Welcome to the Honorable Professor Valeriia Lymar, as a Doctor of Economic Science and also Associate Professor, Acting Head of International Relations from Vasyl Donetsk National University, and also Honorable Professor Kefyalew Kibie Bishaw, as a Lecturer of and also Honorable Professor Wibi Alvianto, as a Lecturer of Graphic Design Department from STEKOM University in Indonesia. And last but not least, also to the Honorable Forecast and Audience. Further, for the square of the morning agenda, we will sing our national anthems, continue opening speech by Mr. Ahmad Zainuri as a Dean of Faculty Entrepreneurship. And after that, we will get a new knowledge from our special guest today. And after presentation, SPM. Yeah, for first question, we will listening Indonesian national anthem. So, Miss Febri, you can start for this Indonesian national anthems. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Novita, can I start this opening speech now?
Indonesian national anthem first. Sure. No?
Your voice clearly. Hello, Miss Novita.
Okay, thank you for Miss Febri, and then we will next question. Next schedule. Yeah, we will. Ladies and gentlemen, first now we will invite to the stake most responsible person for the conduction of this international webinar international event to the Honorable Professor Ahmad Zainuri for time opening speech. Yeah. So for Professor Ahmad, the time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for Miss Novita. Can you hear my voice with clearly, Miss Novita?
Yes, it's clearly sure.
It's okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please introduce myself. My name is Mr. Ahmad Zainuri. I'm head of entrepreneurship study program in STEKOM University. We apologize in advance. Our rector cannot join in this webinar international event, and I will take over this opening speech. Thank you to all of you who took part in this event. Okay, the honorable our speaker today, Professor Valeriia Lymar, as Doctor of Economic Science, Associate Professor, Acting Head of International Relations and Foreign Policy from Vasyl Stus Donetsk National University, Ukraine. And the Honorable Professor Kefyalew Bishaw as a lecturer of civil engineering from Debre Tabor University, Ethiopia. And then Professor Wibi Ardi Alvianto as a lecturer of graphic design department from STEKOM University, Indonesia. And also the honorable all students and all audience. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, may I first take this occasion to pay tribute to all of the audience of this webinar international event with the title "The Advantage of Green Engineering," held by STEKOM University in collaboration with Debre Tabor University, Ethiopia, and Vasyl Stus Donetsk National University, Ukraine. It is a great pleasure and an honor for me to deliver welcome remarks at the opening of this webinar international event. May I first to take this opportunity to express my gratitude and appreciation as well as extend cordial welcome to all of the audience, in particular all the speakers of today's event. Okay, first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to our God, a blessing and mercy that we could assemble in this international webinar, The Advantage of Green Engineering. The honorable all speaker guests today and all audience, I would like to say thank you very much to all speakers that you will present insightful ideas according to your fields of expertise in this reputation. And it is a great pleasure to welcome all of you to in this webinar. I believe that our speakers will improve knowledge and experiences of all participants and provide significant scientific contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, our today's event will discuss the opportunities of the advantage of green engineering. So, for your information about the advantage of green engineering, why green engineering, we have many reasons, such as save the world and we can change the world together and also moving toward a low carbon era. Like one of the opinion I read, when it comes to reaching net zero emissions, no one should be left behind. Let's work together on developing innovation technologies to green engineering. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope through this webinar international event, we can get more information about the advantage of green engineering. To conclude, I would like to extend my appreciation to the International Affairs Organization of STEKOM University for making this webinar. And finally, I wish you enjoyed today. Let's pray that all our efforts remain in the blessing of God. Amen. Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Novita. Please, you can take over this event until finish. Many thanks.
Okay, thank you very much for the conduction and for the sentence. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, now we will begin the first session of our webinar today. And the keynote speaker for this session is Professor Valeriia Lymar from Vasyl Stus Donetsk National University in Ukraine. Yeah, welcome to the first keynote speech session for Professor Valeriia. And also, it's my honor to have you here with us in this morning event. Thank you so much for this time. Yeah. So, Dr. Valeriia, the time is yours. Thank you.
Good morning, dear colleagues. I can begin. I will be the first, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I'm going to share my presentation. Do you see the presentation, dear colleagues? Tell me, please.
Yes, visible.
Okay, thank you very much. Firstly, I want to say thank you for opportunity to share my thoughts with you. And secondly, I want to present the circular economy new action plan of European Union. I want to say that this plan for Ukraine is extremely important because, as you know, on 23rd of June 2022, Ukraine became the candidate for membership in the European Union. That is why their experience in such field for Ukraine would be very important, especially after Ukraine will win the war that Russian Federation starts against our country, and I think that green technologies, green engineering would be very important for recovering our infrastructure. On my first degree, I'm the economist. That is why I want to talk about economic aspects and about economic effects that green technologies have on our everyday life. So let me introduce the results of my investigation. There is only one planet Earth, yet by 2050, the world will be consuming as if there were three. Global consumption materials such as biomass, fossil fuels, metals, and other materials is expected to double in the next 40 years, while annual waste generation is projected to increase by 70% by 2050. As half of total greenhouse gas emission and more than 90% of biodiversity loss and water stress come from resource extraction and processing. The European Green Deal launched a concrete strategy for a climate neutral, resource efficient and competitive economy. Scaling up the circular economy from frontrunners to the mainstream economic players will make a decisive contribution to achieve climate neutrality by 2050 and decoupling economic growth from resource use while ensuring the long-term competitiveness of the EU and leaving no one behind. To fulfill this ambition, the European Union needs to accelerate the transition towards a regenerative growth model that gives back to the planet more than it takes, advance towards keeping its resource consumption within planetary boundaries, and therefore strive to reduce its consumption footprint and double its circular material use rate in the coming decade. For business, working together on creating the framework for sustainable products will provide new opportunities in the European Union and beyond. This progressive yet irreversible transition to a sustainable economic system is an indissoluble part of the new European Union industrial strategy. A recent study estimates that applying circular economy principle across the European Union economy has the potential to increase GDP of European Union about 1% additional by 2030, and it will create about 700,000 new jobs. For citizens, the circular economy will provide high quality, functional and safe products, which are efficient and affordable, last longer and are designed for use, repair and high quality recycling. A whole new range of sustainable services, product as services models and digital solutions will bring about a better quality of life, innovative jobs and upgraded knowledge and skills. So let me introduce the Circular Economy Action Plan, which provides a future-oriented agenda for achieving a cleaner and more competitive Europe in co-creation with the economic actors, consumers, citizens, and civil society organizations. So the main steps of the action plan you can see on the second and on the third slides. So the plan presents a set of interrelated initiatives to establish a strong and coherent product policy framework that will make sustainable products, services, and business models the norm and transform consumption patterns so that no waste is produced in the first place. So let's analyze the plan, and I'm going to discuss designing sustainable products. So in order to make products fit for a climate neutral, resource efficient, and circular economy, reduce waste, and ensure that the performance of front runners in sustainable progressively becomes the norm, and Commission will propose a sustainable product legislative initiative. The core of these legislative initiatives will be to widen the eco-design directive beyond energy-related products, so as to make the eco-design framework applicable to the broadest possible range of products and make it deliver or circularity. As part of this legislative initiative, and where appropriate, through a complementary legislative proposal, the Commission will consider establishing sustainability principles and other appropriate ways to regulate the following aspects. And these aspects you can see on the slide, please. So, increasing recycle while ensuring their performance and safety, enabling remanufacturing and high quality recycling, reducing carbon and environmental footprints, restricting single use and countering premature obsolescence, introducing a ban on the destruction of unsold durable goods, incentivizing products as a service or other models where products keep the ownership of the product or their responsibility for its performance throughout its life cycle, mobilizing the potential of digitalization of product information, including solutions such as digital passports, tagging, and watermarks, rewarding products based on their different sustainability performance, including by linking high performance levels to incentives. And the next step is empowering consumers and public buyers. Empowering consumers and providing them with cost-saving opportunities is the key building block of the sustainable product policy framework. To enhance the participation of consumers in the circular economy, the Commission will propose a revision of the European Union Consumer Law to ensure that consumers receive trustworthy and relevant information on products at the point of sale, including on their lifespan and on the availability of repair services, spare parts, and repair manuals. The Commission will also consider further strengthening consumer protection against greenwashing and premature obsolescence, setting minimum requirements for sustainability labels, logos for information tools. The next step, the next step, circularity in production processes. Circularity is an essential part of a wider transformation transformation of industry towards climate neutrality and long-term competitiveness. It can deliver substantial material saving throughout value chains and production processes, generate extra value, and unlock economic opportunities. In synergy with the objectives laid out in the industrial strategy, the Commission will enable greater circularity in industry by assessing options for further promoting circularity in industrial processes in the context of the review of the Industrial Emissions Directive, including the integration of circular economy practices in upcoming available reference documents, facilitating industrial symbiosis by developing an industry-led reporting and certification system and enabling the implementation of industrial symbiosis, supporting the sustainable and circular bio-based sector through the implementation of the Bioeconomy Action Plan, promoting the use of digital technologies for tracking, tracing and mapping of resources, promoting the uptake of green technologies through the system of solid verification by registering the EU Environmental Technology Verification Scheme as an EU certification mark. The next slide, key product value. The sustainability challenges posted by key value chains requires urgent, comprehensive and coordinated actions which will form an integral part of the sustainable product policy framework. Those actions will contribute to the response to the climate emergency and will feed into the EU industry strategy as well as into the forthcoming biodiversity, farm to fork and forest strategies. As part of the governance of the sectoral actions, the Commission will cooperate closely with stakeholders in the key value chains to identify barriers to the expansion of markets for circular products and ways to address those barriers. The next slide, less waste, more values. So it means enhancing waste policy in support of waste prevention and circularity, enhancing circularity in a toxic-free environment, creating a well-functioning EU market for secondary raw materials, addressing waste exports from the EU. And now a few words according to all of these steps. So, firstly, making circularity work for people, regions, and cities. Between 2012 and 2018, the number of jobs linked to the circular economy in the EU grew by 5% to reach around 4 million. Circularity can be expected to have a positive net effect on job creation, provided that workers acquire the skills required by the green transition. The potential of this social economy, which is a pioneer in job creation linked to the circular economy, will be further leveraged by the mutual benefits of supporting the green transition and strengthening social inclusion, notably under the action plan to implement the European Pillar of Social Rights. The Commission will ensure that instruments in support of skills and job creation contribute also to accelerating the transition to a circular economy, including in the context of updating its skills agenda, launching a pact of skills which are large-scale multi-stakeholder partnerships and the action plan for social economy. Further investment in education and training system, lifelong learning and social innovation will be promoted under the European Social Fund Plus. The Commission will also harness the potential of European Union financing instruments and funds to support all regions benefit from the transition. In addition to awareness raising, cooperation, and capacity building, cohesion policy funds will help regions to strategies and reinforce their industrial fabric and value chains. Circular economy solution will be tailored to their outmost regions and islands due to their dependence on resource imports, high waste generation fueled by tourism and waste exports. The just transition mechanism proposed as part of the European Green Deal investment plan and InvestEU will be able to support projects focusing on the circular economy. The proposed European Urban Initiative, the Intelligent Cities Challenge Initiative, and the Circular Cities and Region Initiative will provide key assistance to cities. Circular economy will be among the priority areas of Green City around. The European Circular Economy Stakeholder Platform will continue to be the place for stakeholders to exchange information. The next one section is cross-cutting actions. Circularity as a prerequisite for climate neutrality. Cross-cutting actions, you see that includes 3 steps and a few words about all the steps. And the first one, circularity is the prerequisite for climate neutrality. In order to achieve climate neutrality, there are synergies between circularity and reduction of greenhouse gas emission need to be stepped up. The Commission will analyze how the impact of circularity on climate change, mitigation, and adaptation can be measured in a systematic way. Improve modeling tools to capture the benefits of the circular economy on greenhouse gas emission reduction at EU level and national levels. Promote strengthening the role of circularity in further revisions of the national energy and climate plans where appropriate in other climate policies. Next, to reducing greenhouse gas emission, achieving climate neutrality will also require the carbon is removed from the atmosphere used in our economy without being released and stored for longer period of time. Carbon removals can be nature-based, including through restoration of ecosystems, forest protection, farming, or based on increased circularity, for instance, through long-term storage in wood construction, reuse and storage of carbon in products such as mineralization in building materials. 2, incentives the uptake, the carbon removal and increased circularity of carbon in full respect of the biodiversity objectives. The Commission will explore the development of a regular framework for certification of carbon removals based on robust and transparent carbon accounting to monitoring and verify the authenticity of carbon removals. The next step, getting the economic rights. Sorry, I missed one slide. Okay, getting the economic right. Accelerating the green transition requires careful yet decisive measures to steer financing towards more sustainable products and consumption patterns. The Commission has already taken a series of initiatives in this respect, including integrating the circular economy objective under the EU taxonomy regulation and carrying out preparatory work on the EU eco-label criteria for financial products. The Circular Economy Finance Support Platform will continue to offer guidance to project promoters on circular incentives, capacity building, and financial risk management. EU financial instruments such as SME guarantees under the current framework and Invest EU as of 2021 mobilized private financing in support of the circular economy. The Commission has also proposed a new own resource for the EU budget based on the amount of non-recycled plastic packing waste. In addition, the Commission will enhance disclosure of environmental data by companies in the upcoming review of the non-financial reporting directive, support a business-led initiative to develop environmental accounting principles that complement financial data with a circular economy performance data, encourage the integration of sustainable criteria into business strategies by improving the corporate governance framework, reflect objectives linked to the circular economy as part of the refocusing on the European semester and in the context of the forthcoming revision of the state aid guidelines in the field of the environment and energy, continue to encourage the broader application of well-designed economic instruments such as environmental taxation, including landfill and incineration taxes, and enable member states to use a value-added tax rate to promote circular economy activities that target financial consumers, notably repair services. And the next slide, driving the transition through research, innovation, and digitalization. European businesses and front-runners in circular innovations. The European Region Development Fund through Smart Specialization Life and Horizon Europe will complement private innovation funding and support the whole innovation cycle with the aim to bring solutions to the market. Horizon Europe will support the development of indicators and data, novel materials and products, substitution and elimination of hazardous substance based on a safe by design approach, circular business models, and new production and recycling technologies, including of chemical recycling, keeping in mind the role of digital tools to achieve circular objectives. Maria Skłodowska-Curie actions can, in addition, support development of skills, training, and mobility of researchers in this area. Digital technologies can track the journeys of products, components, and materials and make the resulting data security accessible. The European data space for smart circular applications referred to the Section 2 will provide the architecture and governance system to drive application and services such as product passports, resource mapping, and consumer information. The European Institute of Innovation and Technology will coordinate innovation initiatives on circular economy in collaboration with universities, research organizations, industry, and small and medium enterprises within the knowledge and innovation communities. The regime of intellectual property needs to be fit for the digital age and the green transition and support EU businesses' competitiveness. The Commission will propose an intellectual property strategy to ensure that intellectual property remains a key enabling factor for the circular economy and the emergence of new business models. And the last one slide, sorry. Oh, okay. About global level of the circular economy. The EU can only succeed if its efforts drive also the global transition to a just, climate neutral, resource efficient, and circular economy. There is a growing need to advance discussions on defining a safe operating space whereby the use of various natural resources does not exceed certain local regional or global thresholds, and the environmental impact remains within planetary boundaries. For countries with an EU accession perspective, our closest neighbors in the south and the east, emerging economies and key partners across the world, the new sustainable models will open up business and employment opportunities while strengthening the ties with European economic actors. To support a global shift to a circular economy, the Commission will, building on the European plastic strategy, lead efforts on international level to reach a global agreement on plastics and promote to uptake of the EU circular economy approach on plastics. Propose a global circular economy alliance to identify knowledge and governance gaps and advancing global circular economy, and take forward partnerships initiatives, including with major economics. Explore the feasibility of defining a safe operating space for natural resource use, and considering initiating discussions on an international agreement on the management of natural resources. Building a stronger partnership with Africa to maximize the benefits of the green transition to the circular economy. Ensure the free trade agreements reflect the enhanced objectives of the circular economy. Continuing promoting the circular economy in the accession processes with the Western Balkans, and in the context of bilateral, regional, and multilateral policy dialogues, fora and environmental agreements, as well as there are pre-accession assistance and neighborhood development and international cooperation programs, including the International Platform on Sustainable Finance. Step up outreach activities, including through the European Green Deal diplomacy and the Circular Economy Mission, and work with the EU member states to enhance coordination and joint efforts of a global circular economy. And a few words about monitoring this progress. In line with the European Green Deal and the 2020 initial sustainable growth strategy, the Commission will reinforce the monitoring on national plans and measures to accelerate the transition to a particular economy as a part of refocusing on European semester process to integrate a stronger sustainable dimension. The Commission will also update the monitoring framework for the circular economy, relying on the European statistic as much as possible. New indicators will take account of the focus areas in this action plan and of the interlinkage between circularity, climate neutrality, and the zero pollution ambition. At the same time, project under Horizon Europe and Copernicus data will improve circularity metrics at various levels, not yet reflected in official statistics. Indicators on resource use, including consumption and material footprints, to account for materials consumption and environmental impacts associated to our production and consumption patterns, will also be further developed and will be linked to monitoring and assessing the progress towards decoupling economic growth from resources use and its impact in the EU and beyond. So, to my mind, as we can see, new circular economy action plan includes all the necessary sections for using implementation green technologies in everyday life. And as I said before, for our country, after we win the war, green technologies will be extremely important. Thank you very much, dear colleagues, for your attention. If you have any questions, please ask me.
You for Dr. Valeriia. Yeah, for question we will go to after our speaker have already end our presentation, and we will go to the Q&A session.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for time you're sharing for your presentation. And then we will go to second speaker. Yeah, for Professor Kefyalew Bishaw from Debre Tabor University in Ethiopia. Yeah, the time is yours. Thank you. Hmm?
Hello, good morning, everyone. Is that visible, my presentation, people?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I would like to say thank you for inviting me on this webinar. I'm Kefyalew from Debre Tabor University. And next, I would like to present the advantage of green technology or green engineering. And on this topic, there are some things which is very important for our world, because now in the days, the world is using non-renewable energy resources, and there are many end products, waste, solid, gas, as well as liquid, caustic end products of the companies or the manufacturing companies and the users. Therefore, the green engineering is very important to save the world and to save the world for the next generation. So, in this topic, there is topics which is related to. I want to stand here is the what is green energy means. I mean green engineering means, and what are the categories which is used as in green engineering, and what are the driving factors for engineering, green engineering, and we will see also the benefits and some limitations in the current time. Therefore, let's come to the main presentation, which is green engineering. So as the name indicates, that green engineering, it is the current topic of the world, because the weather condition as well as the environment is polluted by different products of the humans or the companies or the using accessories, and therefore the green engineering is very important. The as you know, the term engineering refers to the application of science, mathematics, and knowledge for the purpose to solve problems. There are different problems in the world, in every country. Therefore, engineering is more preferable to use science and mathematics to solve that problems. Therefore, green engineering is the usage of science on the designing, manufacturing, commercialization, and use of processes and products, different products, equipment, and systems in such a way that reduce the pollution generated by the construction or operation of facilities, conserve the natural environment and resources, minimizing and reduce the negative impact for human activities, and promotes sustainable and improve the sustainability and improve use of materials through the life cycle of the products and processes, and also maintain the economic efficiency and viability. Therefore, the green engineering is very important nowadays because it focuses on the sustainability of the environment and the viability and the efficiency of the economy, as well as the environment should be safe for the users, which are the peoples, because unless we safeguard the environment, the future generation may be at risk. Therefore, we need to think over about that. That means the every organization or every the government, the universities, as well as every group should be think about the environment, because the environment is polluting due to different causes. Therefore, green engineering is very important. We need to focus on that. Some people refer green engineering as the environmental engineering or the clean technology. That means that the main target of this green engineering is to meet the needs of the society, that the way without depleting the or damaging the natural resources on the earth, as well as human health by manufacturing environment factor products. And mainly it gives emphasis. That means the green engineering mainly gives the emphasis to innovate and improve the existing concepts. There are different concepts which is used in economic sectors, in manufacturing sectors, in different aspects of the world, and therefore we need to innovate the mentality, the concepts and the principles and the science, and which will improve our world and our environment. And the second one is the green engineering, which focuses on changing the patterns of production and consumption to diminish the pollutions. So as you know, there are different things which pollute the environment. So we need to care about that. We need to change the patterns of the production, and we need to improve the patterns of the consumption of the people to diminish or to reduce the pollutions of the environment. The third focus of this green engineering is making the product holistic and reusable. The products which is produced from the different sectors should be holistic. It may have different functions, and it should be reusable and durable also. And the last one is utilizing the innovative techniques to generate eco-friendly products. So the products should be eco-friendly, and we shall not be harm the the health of the people, and it should not be harm the environment, pollute the environment. Therefore, the green technology focuses on this or give emphasis these 4 points. Regarding to this, there are 4 categories of the green technology. I mean, the green engineering focuses on. The first one is the waste reduction, and the second one is the material management. The third is pollution prevention and the product enhancement. So when you see term by term, the waste reduction means nowadays in the world there are different wastes which is come out from the manufacturing industries or the end use of the humans. Therefore, this waste should be reduced. This waste should be reduced. Therefore, many commercial processes such as manufacturing and the manufacturing products may waste energy through insufficient manufacturing and delivery methods. So green engineering seeks ways to minimize the waste through finding new fuel methods and minimizing the unnecessary products, unnecessary producting steps that need to use energy, and manufacturing reusable, durable, and holistic products for the users. For example, if you see here, it is the products, the end uses of the product should be collected and selected and can be recycled. And the material should be produced or should be manufactured at the initial to be recycled by its nature. For example, sometimes there are some materials which cannot be reused. Therefore, the material should be manufactured in the form of recycling. The next one is the materials management. So which is the next category of the green technology. Material management necessitates the finding better and safer management drivers in engineering purpose, particularly in products and in manufacturing. Therefore, engineering may identify new and safer materials or invent options. So there must be new material. There should be a safe material for the humans, for the peoples, and for the environments, which cannot be pollute the environment, because the environment nowadays, particularly in third world countries, which is polluted due to different end users or end products of the manufacturing, in manufacturing in users of the products, and we need to use that. I mean, we need to produce new and safer material for the environment, and it can be achieved through using renewable resources that have been managed and harvesting, and it can be achieved through recycling the products. Let me see. This is, for example, here it is the rainwater harvesting, which is come from the roof of the building, and there is the use of passive solar system in buildings, which is using the non-renewable materials and using the solar system, as well as the rain which is come from the roof. So particularly, for example, in our country, Ethiopia, as well as in Africa, there is nowadays, for example, it is rainy time, and the rain is not in use unless the farmers use for by its natural way, but it can be used. It can be used by harvesting it, by purifying it, and again and by recycling it. Therefore, we need to use such type of concepts in our day-to-day activities, and for building of structures such as buildings for maybe mechanical, chemical, or other aspects. The other focus of this green energy technology or green engineering is the pollution prevention. We need to prevent the pollution. So we need to manage the source or the material. We need to reduce the waste. If you reduce the waste and if we manage the materials, we can prevent the pollution. And the pollution prevention focuses on identifying the company's pollution sources. We need to focus on identify the source of the pollution, and we need to minimize that by different innovations or technologies. And also, engineers may identify why pollution occurs. Why pollution occurs? We can, the engineers can focus on why pollution occurs, why we need to avoid that pollution, and find the process or methods to avoid that pollution and the way of spreading. And we need to integrate newer and cleaner techniques and enhance manufacturing delivery in cleanness. And the last one is product enhancement. We need to enhance the products. Therefore, green engineering seeks to improve the products or services they are in engineering while making them safer for the environment. This process may include finding alternative energy sources that work better than the traditional one or the commonly used one in our time. And we need to identify the greener and more efficient manufacturing materials or methods in leveraging various merging technologies, in expanding products capabilities, in improving product usability, and improving product performance and scalability, and makes the product more customized to different users. So if we focus on these four categories of the green engineering, we can improve our environment, and it is very interesting. And also, in green engineering may work in many fields, in manufacturing, in product design, in architectural planning, in civil engineering, in land use of the product distribution, supply chain management, and city planning. We need to focus on that. For example, as I mentioned before, in third world countries, the manufacturing, the product design, the architectural plan, land use, and the other aspects almost are ignored because there is a human resource scarcity, and the most of the time it is the mentality of the governors are sometimes which is focused on how to govern, but not how to change the people. So scaled engineering can not only decrease the company pollution and waste, but also minimize the unnecessary spending times and the others. So we need to focus on that because the green engineering is very important. So the next one is what are the driving factors to use green engineering or to focus on the green engineering. The first one is which is sustainability, the core to the environment, the environmental engineering sustainability. That means we need to sustain and the future should be sustained. So green engineering meets the needs of society in the way that can be identified in the future, which damage or depletes natural resources. So the cradle to cradle design should be ending. That means the cradle to grave should be ending, the cradle to cradle from one use to another. So the material should be used and the material should be recycled, the material should be durable, therefore it should be sustained. And the other is the source reduction, that means reducing the waste and pollution. So to attain the 4 categories or the 4 objectives of the green energy, we need to reduce the wastes and pollutions, and also there should be innovations, developing alternatives to technologies. For example, we need to develop the alternative energies, such as wind energy, such as the solar energy also. And there should be the economic viability. There should be economic viability because it is very important and benefit for the environment, also for the people of the world. For example, let us see some of the examples in green engineering areas. The first one is green building. So a green building, since I am a civil engineer, and there are many concepts in building green buildings. So constructing green buildings. A green building is a building that in design, construction, operation, which reduces or eliminates negative impact and creates a positive impact on our climate and natural environments. There are a number of features which can be make a building of green engineering and green buildings. The first one is efficient use of energy, the water and resources. So we can use the energy, water, and other resources in our building to build the green building, and use of renewable energy and such as solar energy or wind energy, we can use this. And for example, in the case of solar energy, we can build passive solar buildings, which is the roof of the building can be constructed using the solar panel, which is used to produce the solar energy. And also we can the pollution and waste reduction measures and the enabling of reuse and recycle of material, can use recycled materials, and good indoor environment, air quality, use of the materials that are non-toxic, ethical, and sustainable. Considerations of the environment in design, construction, and operations. We need to consider the environment. Most of the time, the environment has its own impacts. Therefore, we need to consider that the environment in design and construction, and we need to consider the quality of life of occupants in design as well as in construction, and the design that enables adaptation to the changing environment. So green buildings or constructing of green buildings is very important because for environment as well as for the safety of the users. For example, you can see this is the Singapore Parliamentary building and Singapore building, which is very interesting and very good in which is designed by the concept of green energy, which is by the concept of green energy, they use the plants on the buildings, they use the the solar panels, and the lighting system and ventilation system is very important, very interesting. So we can use such type of buildings in every aspect. The other is example is the environmentally preferred purchasing system or wastewater treatment, the enhancement industrial emission killers, and the radiant floors in building, plant-based cooling, the energy, perhaps is the most urgent issue for green technologies, that is energy. So these are some of the examples which is used in green engineering. So in green technology, particularly the energy is very important. For example, in solar energy, the wind energy can be very important for green technology. For example, this is the radiant floor, which is it can balance the weather conditions, such as the floor, and it can balance the weather condition of your home, whether it is cool or whether it is hot. So when it is a hot condition, or if the temperature is very high, it may balance by cooling the room, or if the room temperature is very cold, and it radiates the temperature, and it can balance by itself. So we can build such type of buildings, for example. So it uses the energy. It uses energy, that is the electrical energy. That electrical energy can be gained from the solar energy. So by such condition or such pattern, we can use the energy for green engineering or green technology. So in addition to the green building and energy, there is green chemistry, the green nanotechnology. So there are many things when the researchers focus on in nanotechnology, as well as in green chemistry. That means the innovations, design, and applications of the chemical products and processes should to reduce or eliminate the use and generation of hazard substances. And also in nanotechnology, it involves in manufacturing of materials at the scale of nanometer or 1 billion of the meter. Scientists believe that the master of this subject is forthcoming. So the nanotechnology is the forthcoming technology that is used to transform from the way that everything in the world is manufactured. So, so these are some of the areas of the example of the green engineering. So, what are the main basic benefits or advantages of green engineering? That is, the first one is enhance business practices and increase the employment and minimize energy or production wastes. It minimizes the energy and production wastes, reduce energy import dependencies. For example, particularly for third world countries, it reduces the energy import dependencies and helps to the global environment, because by reducing the pollution, by reducing the wastes, solid, liquid, as well as gas emissions of the different aspects. So the other is environmental protection. It reduces, for example, greenhouse gas emission, and it's stimulating the development of innovative and the economy. And in rural development, it's very important. By using, for example, the solar energy or the wind energy, we can develop the rural areas. Therefore, it's very important in rural development, particularly in third world countries, and in reduction of the energy scarcity, the expansion of rural electrification and capabilities. These are the main benefits and or advantages of the green energy. As a general, this green energy saves our world or our environment, but there are some limitations. I have seen that through my investigation. The first one is the dependence on geographical location and weather conditions. For example, if we take the solar system, solar energy system, it depends on the weather condition. And also, if we consider the wind electrification, and it depends on geographical locations. Therefore, this is one of the limitations to use such type of resources. And the other limitation is non-continuity and unpredictability of the renewable sources. So we cannot predict the solar or the wind. It may be stopped. So there is uncertainty on the wind as the source. And because since it is natural, if it stops, it will stop. So everything will be stopped. So this is a non-continuity or unpredictable condition for the resource or the renewable source will be one of the limitation. And the other is it needs high initial costs. It needs high initial costs because to install the solar system, for example, for the wind system, it needs high initial costs. Therefore, it is one of the limitations. The other reason for this is at now time, most of the countries or most of the institutions did not install such type of such type of facilities, which is used for green technologies. Therefore, it may need the initial cost. The other is the low energy efficiency there may be, and low maximum capacity utilization. And the other limitation for now time is there is limitation of the skilled person and the skilled person to use these materials for using green technology. Therefore, these are some limitations. But as we see as a general, the advantage of green technology is more preferable than that we use today, because it saves our environment and our surrounding and for sustainably and viably for economic. And the future generation should use this environment also, and we need to think about that. The future generation should not be at risk due to us. Therefore, we need to focus on that. Many scholars recommend that the higher institutions, educational institutions, and the other delegated group should be focused on the green technology and green engineering, and they should do more researches and more innovations and more trainings on that green engineering to save the world, as well as to save the world for the future engineering. Therefore, let us reduce the pollution of the environment. Let us use wisely, and let we recycle the materials that we have used. So this is my last slide, and let we save the world together, and let we transfer it safely for our future generation. Thank you for listening. If you have any question or any comment, let me answer that, and let we discuss on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for Professor Kefyalew for sharing your presentation with us. It's very beneficial for us. And last speaker, presentation by lecturer from STEKOM University, Professor Wibi Ardi Alvianto. Yeah, for Professor Wibi, the time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Novita. Can you hear my voice clearly?
Very clearly, sir.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity for me. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Wibi Ardi Alvianto. As a lecturer of STEKOM University, thank you for this opportunity given to me. Thank you for Rector of STEKOM University, Dr. Joseph Teguh Santoso, M.Com, and all the great speakers today, event, and of course, all the audience of today's webinar. I'm very happy to able to present my presentation, the advantage and disadvantage of green technology. Okay. Now I want to start my presentation. Can you see my PPT?
Visible, sure.
Okay, thank you. So I want to start in this title. When we talk about advantage, we need to anticipate about disadvantage. Technology is an entire equipment or procedures that continues to be refined to achieve certain goals. Many use of technology that have conferred all of human life. Technology is not only in the form of modern tools that can be used by humans to facilitate activities such as laptops, cell phones, washing machine, and cars. Technology can also be in the form of produce that humans can use to facilitate their activities, such as industrial technology, transportation technology, health technology, and agricultural technology. And various human activities are constantly evolving in a more modern direction along with technological advance. And technological progress is based on the increase in the world consumptive of it. Technology is considered as a means to improve the quality of human life in a better direction. Advance in technology have encouraged humans to change nature and create new things. With technology, everything that used to be impossible and time-consuming can now be done even more easily. Advance in technology not only bring positive impact, but also negative impacts, especially for the environment. Technology is considered as a human tool to exploit nature, and the negative impact of technology that has been felt in real terms is environmental damage that it's getting worse in various parts of the world, such as global warming accompanied by thinning of the ice sheet and rising sea levels as a result of the use of refrigerators and air conditioners, environment pollution as a result of the use of pesticides and hazardous chemicals, the scarcity of natural resources as a result of land exploitation by using tractors, and disrupting of the ecosystem as a result of the use of hazardous chemical disposal. So, what is technology? The word technology can also be used to refer to collection of technique, skills, method, and process used in the production of good or service or in the achieving of objective, such as scientific investigation. Technology can be the knowledge of how to combine resources to produce desired product, to solve problems, fulfill needs, or satisfy wants. Now, we want to talk about green technology. Green technology is the development and application of product, equipment, and system used to conserve the natural environment and resource, which minimize and reduce the negative impacts of human activities. Green technology refers to product, equipment, or system which satisfy the following criteria: First, it minimizes the degradation of environment. It promotes the use of renewable resource. It has zero allow greenhouse gas emission, is safe for use, and promotes healthy and improved environment for all forms of life. It conserves the use of energy and natural resource. So what is importance of green technology? Green technology and environmentally friendly technology is developed and used in a way that protects the environment and conserves natural resource. A part of the renewable energy branch of the environment technology movement, the green technology importance cannot be ignored. We have come to a point where we need to pause and reflect on the growing green technology importance and why it is going to be important for humanity. With many reasons behind green technology importance, perhaps volumes can be written and spoken on the subject. Whether it is the growing importance of green technology in the industry or at homes, it is certain that things need to be done fast. It does not take a rocket scientist to state that making has to doing something, green environment, save energy resource. Going green can only help us come out of the present drought situation before things turn for the worse. We should realize the green technology important to solve this problem. So this is 4 pillars of green technology policy. Energy. Seek to attain energy independent and promote efficient utilization. Environment. Conserve and minimize the impact on the environment. Economy. Enhance the national economic development through the use of technology. And last, social. Improve the quality of life for all. Excuse me. So first, we want to talk about environment pillar of human activities and impact the environment. Conversely, the relative health of the environment will determine and will contribute to the nature and scale of activities in the pillar areas of this plan. Economic, cultural, and social area in this plan, we note some of the major global environment challenges. Climate change, exhausting renewable resources, shrinking natural habitats, diminishing biodiversity, ocean acidification, and increasing human population pressures. Clearly, all of the issues have economic, social, and cultural elements. Social pillar. The social equity pillar will help social agency and residents to raise awareness about social needs and to engage both citizens and community partners to plan and act in response to these needs. The end result will be to improve the well-being of the whole community, and together we will build social capital in the community between individuals and groups in order to enable collaborative in action on projects of common interest. With this, we stress the importance of personal and group well-being and security, including full access to effective healthcare, housing, food, and education service, this being the essential component for full participation in cultural, environmental, and economic activities. Third, economic pillar, it is focused on the attraction of new business and people. This is critical to the city growth and sustainable and assist us in building a strong and vibrant local community. The recruitment of talent people in the public, private, and non-profit sectors are fundamental to achieving this city. Present business and the jobs they create are main component of a strong, sustainable economy. So together we can achieve and be the difference that makes the difference. The last of energy harvesting, an important pillar of green technology is energy harvesting, which seeks new innovative ways to extract useful energy from otherwise useless waste byproducts, as well as to develop new technologies to maximize the harnessing of energy. Energy efficiency has proven to be a cost-effective plan for building economies by minimizing the amount of energy use. So this object for green technology. First, object is to reduce rate growth of energy consumption while enhancing economic development. To facilitate the growth of the green technology industry and enhance its contribution to the national economy. Three, to increase the capacity for innovation in green technology development and enhance competitiveness in green technology in the field. To ensure sustainable development and preserve the environment for future generation, and last, to increase public awareness and education on green technology and encourage its widespread use green technology. What goals of green technology? The goals of green technology are many. To meet the needs of society in ways without damaging or depleting natural resources on Earth is the main objective of green technology. The idea is to meet present needs without making any compromise. You have reached the right destination to now. All about the goals of technology. Focus is being shifted on making products that can be fuel, reclaimed, or reused. By changing partners of production and consumption, steps are being taken to reduce waste and pollution. As one of the important goals of green technology, it is essential to develop alternative technology to prevent any future damage, health, and the environment. Speeding their implementation can benefit our environment and truly protect this planet. explore the goals of technology, introducing sustainable living, develop renewable energy, and reduce waste. Major sector in green energy is energy sector. Application of green technology in power generation and energy supply management, including co-generation in the industrial and commercial sectors, and sector energy consuming application of green technology in all sectors of energy consumption and energy demand management program. Second, building sector. Adoption of green technology in the construction, management, maintenance, and destroying of buildings. Water and waste management sector. Adoption of green technology in the management and use of water resource was water treatment, solid water landfill. And the last, transport sectors. Incorporation of green technology in transportation, infrastructure, and vehicle, in particular, biofuels and public road transport. So, this is advantage of green technology. Does not emit anything harmful into the air, can bring economic benefit to certain excess. Requires less maintenance, so you don't have to shell out a lot of money to operate it. Renewable, which means we will never run out. Can slow the effect of global warming by reducing CO2 emission. And this factors to adopting green technologies. This is we need to anticipation if we want to use this system, green technology, in your city, in your country. I think this is important for we know about green technology. This first, high implementing costs, lack of information, no non-alternative chemical or raw materials input, no non-alternative process technology, uncertainty about performance impact, lack of human resource and skill. So if we want to use green technology, if we can know about disadvantages, we can use perfectly green technology in our country, your country, my country. So about green technology, this is very, very hard for us now in this world, because system in this world can be running and we need to change this system in the world, and we need something place to use this system. So I just want to say, if you want to use this system, advantage for the green technology, we need to know about disadvantage of adopting green technology. And thank you for this time. This is the last my slide. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the simultaneity. Thank you, Mrs. Novita.
Thank you for your time to sharing your presentation with us. is a very beneficial for us. Yeah. Thank you so much for our speaker for presentation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, now we will go to next session. But for information, so unfortunately, Mr. Wibi cannot join with us until end because he have another schedule for today. So for Q&A, we will continue with Professor Kefyalew and then Professor Dr. Valeriia. Yeah. Okay. We will go to question and answer session. If you wanna ask question, you can raise your hand or you can write in a room chat. Yeah, for first question, we have student from STEKOM University, Mr. Sam. Yeah, for Mr. Sam, the time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me clearly?
Clearly.
Okay. First of all, thank you for giving me a chance to ask my questions. And let me introduce myself first. My name is Sam, and I'm from STEKOM University. And I have a few questions. And my questions is for all the speakers who can answer it. And I have a few questions, and this is my questions. Wait. Okay. The first questions. How is the application of green engineering in your country, which is mostly done by companies there? And the second, why are countries investing in green engineering? And the third question, what are some examples of green engineering in technology companies like Google? Do they use it? And maybe they are all my questions for all the speakers. Thank you, and my pleasure.
Okay. Let me answer your question about application of green technologies in Ukraine.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. As you know, I told you that I'm an economist, and sometimes I have relations with business, and sometimes they come to us, I mean businessmen, small and medium enterprise, to ask some advices to universities. And as I know, some green technologies are used in Ukraine in building sphere, and in recycling of paper to reuse and to use some more time for packing in caterings, restaurant, cafes. They use packing. They recycle it. And about investment, you asked the question. Before, our speaker told that one of disadvantage of green engineering technologies that they are expensive. Yes, I mean costs. Yes, and on the government level, it is not very interested to put money on this sphere. It is connected mostly with the private business. We have small enterprises who wants to pay money and to use such technologies, but not on the government level, like it would be in the EU and on their national states members. So I tried to be short.
Okay, thank you for answering, Dr. Valeriia. Yeah, how about Professor Kefyalew?
Thank you for the answer, Doctor.
Okay, thank you, everyone, and thank you, Sam, for asking such a question and participate actively. And let me try to answer the first two questions. The first one is how is the green engineering technology in a country? So in our country, particularly, for example, if we see the waste management, for example, in our country, Ethiopia, the less than 80% of the waste is collected by different sectors, but out of this, 4% were around 4% are recycled. So that means it is almost nil. And the green energy, sometimes there are some investors who invest on the using solar system and wind as the energy source in our country, and which is very interesting, and which is also our new technology for us, because there is no such type of technology in a country before a year. But nowadays there are solar energy systems and there are wind turbines in addition to the water hydraulic system. And in my investigation for the next question, there are countries which is invest more on recycling and recycling the materials. For example, I have Google on the open source, and I saw that the Germany uses and recycle most of its end users, and almost more than 90% of the waste in German recycled, and it will be reused. In addition, next to the German, Singapore, such type of countries are used recycle the materials, and they use the green technology. So that's my short answer for the two questions. Thank you, Sam, and the other group.
Thank you, Mr. for your answer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And next question, this is for Professor Kefyalew. Yeah. How is the mechanism of handling garbage, especially plastic that can be recycled? Sorry, I will repeat my question. But Ethiopian government to persuade the citizen to use recycle product and use green technology. Thank you.
Okay. Do you mean that recycling the plastic materials, such as plastic bottles? Okay. In our country, there are many end users. For example, there is the bottles of water, the plastic bottles, and the other plastics. There are companies which is they are investing their money and on the recycling the plastics. For example, there are brewery factories, and there are the water factories, and they reuse their materials. And also sometimes they reuse the metal materials, the metallic materials, even they invest on that reusing or recycling on the metallic materials. But at the government, most of things are ignored, because particularly on this time, since there is a political instability in our country due to the war, and there is a war between the nations. Therefore, there is instability. Due to that, the government didn't care about the recycling on the waste materials or using the technologies, but they focus on how to sustain or how to survive, and how the people will survive, just like that. I think I got your question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Last question. This is question from Mr. Adi Nugroho to Professor Kefyalew again. Yeah, for Ethiopia, is there any special incentive from the government for the company that apply green technology, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let me start. So the government, there is no incentives. They didn't help for the investors, but sometimes they give us an appreciation award for such type of companies which invest their money and time for the waste management on the green technology, and they help them in preparing the platform. That means many things in our country are not adapted here, and the culture of our country, the people is very different, by the way, and most of the people after technology. So what the government do is they train the people, so the people to know about the technologies, to understand the how can we manage the waste and such type of things. So as a general, the government is doing preparing the platform for the investors, but sometimes it gives us award, but not in regular form. Thank you, I think.
Okay, thank you for Professor Kefyalew. And then this is question for Dr. Valeriia. Yeah. For first question, how is the mechanism of handling garbage, especially plastic that can be recycled in Ukraine? Doctor, thank you.
As I told before, we have small businesses, small enterprises and medium enterprises, which are interested in recycling. So it's a separate type of business. They have their facilities and they recycle them. Like before speaker told, yes, that water factories use plastics to reuse for such purposes. So we have the same. So we have small and medium business which are interested in recycling plastics.
Okay, thank you. Oh, yeah. And the last question, Ukraine use nuclear plant for power. Yeah, is it considered as a green technology? And is there any plan to replace it with more green technology? So thank you.
A very interesting question. Thank you very much. Yes, we have nuclear energy, and we know that it is cheaper than green technologies. But we have big volume of needs, and now on the national level we can't change nuclear to remove nuclear energy and use only green technologies, green energy, because on the government level, on the national level, we don't have enough money to do this. We need private investment, but you understand that private investment should be interested in it. But now you know that there is war in our country, and not many businesses, international businesses, are interested to put money in our economy, unfortunately. And I think this would be till the war in our country will be finished.
Okay, thank you for your answer. I think we don't have no more question against from our audience. Yeah, maybe for our audience, you can turn on your camera. I will take a picture for documentation. Okay, just a moment, please. One and yeah, one more time. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, is it enough? Okay, I guess no one asking. I will continue this session to closing session. Maybe before I close this event, you will say something before.
Okay, I think let me.
Sorry,
Okay.
untuk mengulang kita foto bersama. Mohon dihidupkan kameranya terlebih dahulu. Mungkin tadi pada nggak ngerti audiennya. Ya, mohon dihidupkan terlebih dahulu biar kita foto bersama narasumber.
Okay.
Bapak Wibi masih di sini?
Nggak ada. We will take a picture again, Dokter.
Oke, ya saya hitung dari 1,
1, 2,
3. Ya, sekali lagi ya. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe for Professor Kefyalew, you will say something before.
Okay, thank you, Novit, and thank you for all these things. I think I have catch up many experiences from you and Dr. Valeriia, and thank you for everything. That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
Thank you, dear colleagues, for invitation, for the opportunity to share thoughts. It was very interesting for me because I study economic aspects, and today I've heard very interesting things. And my doctoral thesis was connected with bioeconomy and some aspects with cycling economy. That is why I decided to talk today about these aspects. Thank you very much for invitation.
Okay, thank you very much for our speaker to sharing your knowledge. It's very beneficial and new knowledge for us. And also it's my honor to have all of you here with us this international webinar event today. Yeah, thank you for staying here with us until end of this event, and thank you for our audience join in this webinar until at the last event. Thank you for everyone. I hope we can meet again in other event in the future. Yeah, thank you so much for everyone. I hope you have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Mrs.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Mr.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye. Nice to see you.